It is Maginoni, and here's another round of Rebirth reviews for you. Now, I didn't pick up all the Rebirths, but I think I got a decent sampling at least. First up is Green Lanterns number 2. Now, this title is primarily going to be dealing with the two reject lanterns. You know, the one which was arrested, labeled as a terrorist, and the other one who has issues. And she got her ring from the ring of the crime syndicate. Now, overall, the story is basically, the big push of this is the Red Lanterns. They're basically dying, and what they need is people. So, you know, you do what any other supervillain does, and when you have access to the entire galaxy, you plant your seeds of destruction on Earth, where they have 5 Green Lanterns, is it? And how many other superheroes? You know, versus some random other planet. Now, and of course, the lanterns are right in the middle of everything. We know it's very convenient for the story to progress. Now, overall, it's not that bad. It's interesting in how you can see how the two lanterns play against each other, their insecurities, because they're definitely they're night and day. It's almost like Guy Gardner and Hal Jordan, the way they are, at least in terms of how their personalities are. You know, like one's extremely confident, and in this one, the other one is very insecure. I mean, not saying Guy Gardner and Hal are, but it's just that it's like that. They're just vastly different. And for those of you who don't know about these characters, it does plop out some background information for them as to why you're supposed to care for them, and you know what motivates them, and things like other nonsense. The art is decent. The story's not too bad. It's just that, I mean, I don't know how well these two characters are going to be able to, you know, like basically pull a book. I do applaud DC giving them a chance at least, because usually, you know, DC not just DC, but Marvel and DC like to, in the past, create a character and then cut their losses pretty quick without trying to really develop them. So I applaud them for that. Hopefully this book will be good. The other interesting thing is these two characters are really tied together, so they really have to work together. So that's another added element to the whole, like, drive to keep these two characters together. It, you know, overall it's decent. I think it's, to be fair, it's better than most of the other Green Lantern books that have been out, and for that, it's, I mean, even though I'm not sounding it, it's a breath of fresh air. Superman number 2. Wow, you would think that they kill off Superman and they replace him with Superman, it wouldn't make a difference. But this book is night and day better than the New 52 crap that was Superman. You know, this Superman, he's a lot more confident. He's I don't know, to me even seems just more heroic. Even though he really hasn't done anything, that's just the impression I get. It's like this one is just the confidence in the character. While we get that, he's interacting with his son, and of course his son's got powers also, so we get to see that, and it's like I said, it's just a better book. It is just unbelievably better. The drawback to this is the surprise villain at the end. Superman was not the only one that basically transferred to this planet or this world. So I don't want to spoil it, but there's only a few supervillains who, you know, what they would bring over. But overall, like I said, I hate to say it, but I'm enjoying Superman. I don't know how long it's going to last, but this is definitely a lot better than I thought it was going to end up being. Justice League. Don't hate, don't judge. I just bought it on a whim. I have my issues with Hitch. The fact that this book even came out on time is surprising. Basically, Earth is facing world disaster, alien invasion again, and the Justice League can barely hold their own against it because they don't have Superman. Lois convinces Clark, Clark, you're Superman. You got to do what you got to do. And Superman goes, oh, okay, Lois. And he goes to save the day. Now, this book here is basically designed to introduce the newer Superman with the Justice League. Because the Justice League, especially Wonder Woman, is dealing with the loss of Clark. They had a relationship together. And this Superman is, he's got Lois, he's got a kid. Unlike anything, they just don't know who this person is. So from that angle alone, it's going to be interesting. But I don't know if this book's even going to come out. Because at the very end, they're like, well, why do I sense that there's something more dangerous yet to come? And I'm like, yeah, it's something more dangerous. There's nothing more dangerous than a creator who can't meet a schedule because your book gets canceled or, resolicited, quote unquote, for a future day, or artists change because the guy can't keep up. That's the biggest fear, not biggest threat. Another alien invasion. It's your creative staff. But I mean, Hitch is what he is. He's a great artist. The book is great. I mean, the book is pretty well written overall. We just need 6 of them so we can put a book out on time. On a consistent schedule, I should say. All right, Batman 2 with the Gotham and Gotham Girl. I'm really torn with this because, the Batman I know and love, he's very antisocial. Batwoman shows up in town and he tells her to get the hell out of, Gotham. These two show up, doesn't know who they are. Well, hey, I've seen you around. You did some good. How about I take you to Gordon? And I'm like, what the heck is this Batman? What changed from New 52 to Rebirth that this Batman is a kinder, gentler, much more accepting, understanding, trusting Batman? I don't understand what's going on here. But that's some creative licensing in terms of writing it. Now, at the very end, they do reveal who the villain is. And basically, the villain is pretty legendary, I guess you can say, in terms of Batman's history. And he has been setting things up, causing mischief, so to speak. Like, for example, Gordon receives a visitor, and this old man, he's like, yeah, I released Solomon Grundy, and I did this and that, and he stabs himself in the neck type thing. And he gives him a little warning of what's to come. But overall, I mean, it's a really decent book. I mean, King is a good writer, and I hate it. I hate the fact that this book is still good because I want to drop it, and I should drop it, but I'm like, I could just buy the trades, but you can't buy trades because DC never puts trades out in a timely manner. And so, God, I hate DC sometimes. Overall, like I said, the Batman books, other than the fact of I don't find that the character of Batman is believable in this situation, I will say that the story is pretty well written so far. Finch has been doing a pretty decent job with art, even though there's been some funky panels every now and then. Overall, I'll say this. The Rebirth books have been, I should say, better as an average than the Civil War 2 tie-ins. Granted, I don't think it's necessarily fair to compare them in the sense that this is DC's relaunching of their titles versus, let's just throw out tie-ins. And so I get that they're not quite the same, but I will say DC overall is doing a better job at their push, and hopefully they'll be able to maintain it and continue to put out some really good books. I think that's what Marvel needs. Marvel needs some stiff competition from DC to raise their game up higher. But anyways, that is the Rebirth titles. that I bought. If you have any comments or questions, let me know. What Rebirth books are you looking forward to reading the most or excited to get? We'll have more reviews and stuff later. So until next time.